Be prepared. Tomorrow isn't just another day. March 13th is the moment the universe stops taking and starts giving. And if you've been grinding in silence, sacrificing without recognition, doing the work when nobody was watching, tomorrow is your day. For months, maybe even years, you've been building something brick by brick, hour by hour, choice by choice. And the wild part, you probably felt like nobody noticed, like the universe wasn't paying attention, like all that effort was disappearing into a void. But here's what most people don't understand. The cosmos keeps receipts. Every single choice you made to show up when it was hard, every boundary you held when it cost you, every time you chose integrity over convenience, it's all been recorded. And tomorrow, when the moon enters Capricorn, the ledger balances. And if you've been feeling this strange pressure building in your chest lately, like something massive is about to break open, keep watching, because there's one specific reason why this sensation has been following you for days, and I'll explain exactly what it means later in this video. But first, you need to understand why tomorrow is different from every other full moon, every other transit, every other cosmic event you've experienced this year. Because what's happening isn't just spiritual, it's structural. It's not just emotional, it's material. And it's not just possible, it's inevitable. Let me be honest about what the past few months have felt like. Since November, something has been off. You've been working harder than ever. But the results? Delayed, stalled, frozen in some cosmic purgatory where effort doesn't seem to equal outcome. Jupiter, the planet of luck, expansion, and abundance, has been retrograde in Cancer since November 11th, 2025. And when Jupiter goes backward, so does your momentum. Not because you're doing anything wrong, but because the universe needed you to build something from the inside out. Think about it. All those months where nothing seemed to move forward externally, that wasn't punishment. That was preparation. You were being forced to develop emotional resilience, to reconstruct your sense of security from the ground up, to stop waiting for external validation and start trusting your own worth. And here's what nobody tells you. That internal work is worth more than gold. Because tomorrow, when Jupiter officially stations direct just hours before the moon enters Capricorn, all that invisible growth you've been doing suddenly translates into visible results. The momentum doesn't just return, it explodes. Projects that have been stuck for months will suddenly clear. Money that's been delayed will finally move. Opportunities that felt impossible will become obvious next steps. Because the universe wasn't withholding your rewards, it was making sure you were ready to hold them. This week has been breaking you open for a reason. Pay attention to what's been happening since March 8th. On that day, Venus collided with Saturn in Aries. And if you felt it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. A harsh reality check. A moment where you had to look at your relationships, your finances, your self-worth and ask, am I settling? Venus-Saturn doesn't play games. It demands that you stop bleeding energy into people, situations, and habits that don't respect your value. It forces you to set boundaries you've been avoiding. It makes you choose between what's comfortable and what's actually worthy of you. And if that transit felt brutal, it's because it was. You were being audited. The universe was checking to see if you're serious about claiming what you deserve, or if you're still willing to accept scraps out of fear, guilt, or old programming. But here's the thing. If you passed that test, if you held your boundaries, if you walked away from what wasn't serving you, if you refused to compromise your worth, then tomorrow's Capricorn moon is about to reward you beyond what you can currently imagine. Because the harsh truth of Saturn is this: it only rewards those who prove they can handle the responsibility. And you just proved it. Then yesterday, March 11th, the last quarter moon in Sagittarius forced you to release something. Maybe it was an old belief system. Maybe it was a fantasy about how things should have gone. Maybe it was the need to have all the answers before you take the next step. Sagittarius wants to keep everything broad, theoretical, full of possibility. But Capricorn demands focus, precision, commitment to the one path that actually leads somewhere real. So if you felt something fall away yesterday, a relationship, a dream, a version of yourself that wasn't failure, that was the final purge before the reward. You're being stripped of everything that would weigh you down when tomorrow's blessings arrive. Here's what happens tomorrow, and why the timing is so precise. It feels almost orchestrated by divine intelligence. At midnight on March 13th, the moon crosses into Capricorn, and Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, the planet of karma, time, structure, and consequences. When the moon enters this sign, it becomes the cosmic accountant. It reviews the books, it checks the ledger, it calculates exactly what you're owed. But here's where it gets wild. The moon entering Capricorn happens just hours after Jupiter stations direct in Cancer. Do you understand what that means? Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system. It represents expansion, luck, growth, abundance, and it's been retrograde, moving backward of Nusilos for nearly 5 months. All that luck, all that growth, all that abundance has been building up like water behind a dam. And tomorrow, the dam breaks. But water without a container just floods everything and disappears into the ground. That's where the Capricorn moon comes in. It's the earthen vessel, the solid structure that catches all that Jupiterian luck and transforms it into something real, something tangible, something you can actually use. This is why the timing is so perfect. It feels miraculous. The expansion and the structure hit at the exact same moment. The dream and the plan, the vision and the blueprint, the desire and the discipline. Most people experience either inspiration without execution or execution without inspiration. Tomorrow, you get both at the same time, and that combination is unstoppable. You've been feeling it, haven't you? That strange sensation right in the center of your chest. Not quite anxiety, not quite excitement, just this steady building pressure like something is trying to break through from the inside. Some of you might have felt it between your shoulder blades, others in the solar plexus. It's been there for days, maybe even weeks, and you couldn't explain it. You might have thought it was stress. You might have ignored it. But here's what's actually happening. Your nervous system has been preparing for tomorrow. Your body knew before your mind did that massive energy is about to move through you. That pressure you've been feeling, that's potential energy. That's every choice you've made, every sacrifice you've honored, every moment of discipline you maintained. All of it compressed into a single point waiting to release. Tomorrow, when the Capricorn moon locks into place, that pressure releases. And what replaces it is clarity, momentum, undeniable forward movement. You're going to wake up on March 13th and feel different, lighter, but also more solid, like something that was out of alignment just clicked back into place. And suddenly, the path forward, the one you've been squinting at through fog for months, becomes crystal clear. Let's talk about what karmic payback actually looks like. Because this isn't about vague spiritual concepts or feeling good vibrations. The Capricorn moon deals in earth, in matter, in things you can touch. Tomorrow's energy is designed to deliver tangible results. We're talking money that's been stuck suddenly moving. That client who's been thinking about it for months. They sign the contract. That invoice that's been sitting unpaid. The payment clears. That raise you were promised back in December. It finally comes through. Capricorn doesn't deal in maybe yes. It deals in done deals. Career breakthroughs that seemed impossible. The promotion that kept getting delayed. The opportunity you thought you missed. The recognition you stopped hoping for. Tomorrow's energy doesn't just open doors. It removes the entire wall. What's been blocked since late 25 suddenly has a clear path forward. The solidification of long-term plans. Maybe you've been building something quietly. a business, a creative project, a new life structure. Tomorrow is when that invisible work becomes visible, when the foundation you've been laying finally supports the structure you're ready to build. And here's what makes this different from every other manifestation moment you've experienced. This isn't about attracting something new. This is about receiving what you've already earned. The work is done. The debt is owed. Tomorrow is payday. But tomorrow isn't the end of this cosmic sequence. It's the beginning. Because just hours after the Capricorn Moon settles into place, something even more powerful happens. On March 14th at 2 in the morning, Mars conjuncts the North Node in Pisces. And if you don't know what that means, let me break it down. The North Node represents your destiny, your soul's purpose, the direction you're meant to move toward in this lifetime. Mars is action, Volence, will, desire. When Mars meets the North Node, it's like the universe hands you a flaming sword and says, "This is your path. Now walk it." But this isn't happening in some aggressive fire sign. It's happening in Pisces, a sign of surrender, spirituality, intuition, and creative flow. So the action you're being called to take isn't forceful. It's not about pushing or controlling or dominating. It's about trusting, following, allowing yourself to be pulled toward what's calling you, even if you can't logically explain why. The rewards you receive tomorrow through the Capricorn Moon, they're preparing you for the path that opens the day after. This is the one-two punch. Tomorrow, you get the material foundation, the resources, the stability, the proof that your work matters. And the next day, you get the direction, the calling, the undeniable pull toward what's next. Together, they create something unstoppable. A spiritually aligned path backed by real-world resources. Here's what's going to happen tomorrow, and most people won't even notice. They'll wake up, scroll their phones, go about their day, completely oblivious to the fact that the universe just opened the vault. Why? Because they're not paying attention. They're not doing the internal work. They're still operating from ego, from fear, from old patterns that have nothing to do with their actual worth. But you've been doing the work. You've been showing up even when it was hard. You've been holding your standards even when it would have been easier to lower them. You've been building in the dark, trusting that eventually the light would come. And tomorrow, it does. The people who will receive tomorrow's rewards aren't the ones who work the hardest by external metrics. They're the ones who maintain their integrity when nobody was watching, who chose long-term alignment over short-term comfort, who refused to compromise their soul for convenience. That's you, and the universe knows it. That's why tomorrow feels different. That's why you can sense something building. Your body, your intuition, your higher self, they all know what's coming. Let's talk about something most astrology content won't mention. Why some people will receive massive rewards tomorrow and others won't. It's not random. It's not luck. It's a direct result of how you responded to the Venus-Saturn conjunction on March 8th. That transit was a test. Checkpoint. The universe was asking, are you still willing to settle? Will you accept less than you're worth out of fear? Will you compromise your boundaries to avoid conflict? If you failed that test, if you stayed in the relationship that drains you, if you accepted the underpaid position, if you kept bleeding energy into people who don't reciprocate, then tomorrow's Capricorn Moon will feel heavy, restrictive, like more work is being demanded of you. But if you passed that test, if you walked away, if you held the line, if you said no to what wasn't worthy of you, then tomorrow feels like vindication, like the universe saying, we saw that, we noticed, here's your reward. The Capricorn Moon doesn't give handouts. It rewards discipline, and the Venus-Saturn conjunction was your chance to prove you have it. This isn't just about money and career. The rewards coming tomorrow extend into every area of your life, including the people in it. If you're in a relationship that's been tested lately, Tomorrow brings resolution. Either the relationship solidifies into something unshakably stable, built on mutual respect and real commitment, or it ends, finally and completely, making space for what's actually meant for you. The Capricorn Moon doesn't tolerate ambiguity. It doesn't do situationships or we'll see where this goes. It demands definition, commitment, structure. So if someone in your life has been straddling the fence, playing games, keeping you in limbo, tomorrow forces their hand. And here's the beautiful part. Whatever happens is the right thing. If they step up, you gain a solid partnership. If they don't, you gain your freedom. Either way, you win. The same goes for friendships, family dynamics, professional relationships. Tomorrow's energy reorganizes your entire social structure around one principle. Do these people respect your worth? Or are they energy vampires? The ones who stay will prove it through action, not words. And the ones who leave, they were always going to. Tomorrow just accelerates the timeline so you stop wasting time on people who were never going to show up for you. Maybe you've been feeling it all week, like reality itself is rearranging. Like the rules of the game just changed and you're one of the few people who got the memo. You're not crazy. You're not imagining it. The shift is real. Since the total lunar eclipse in Virgo on March 3rd, the entire collective has been in an eclipse portal, a cosmic corridor where the old world and the new world overlap, where timelines blur, where what was certain becomes uncertain, and what was impossible becomes inevitable. Tomorrow, the Capricorn Moon anchors that new timeline into physical reality. It takes all the chaos, all the confusion, all the wild energy of the past 2 weeks and crystallizes it into solid form. What's been floating in the realm of possibility and in the realm of fact. What's been brewing in the invisible suddenly becomes undeniably visible. And what you've been building in faith becomes something you can finally touch. This is the moment where spiritual work becomes material reality, where inner transformation manifests as outer success, where the version of you that's been emerging for months finally steps fully into the light. Here's something nobody talks about. Rewards can be overwhelming. When you've been grinding for so long without recognition, when you've been holding it together through sheer force of will, when you've sacrificed more than anyone knows, finally getting what you're owed can break you open. Tomorrow you might cry, not from sadness, but from relief, from the sudden overwhelming realization that it wasn't all for nothing, that your work mattered, that someone, something, was keeping track. The Capricorn Moon isn't known for being emotional. It's stoic, reserved, practical, but when it opposes Jupiter in Cancer, the most nurturing, protective, emotionally intelligent placement possible, you get something rare. Permission to feel the weight of what you've carried. You've been strong for so long. You've been the one holding it together, keeping everyone else afloat, sacrificing your own comfort to build something lasting. Tomorrow is the day you get to set that weight down. Not forever. Capricorn always carries responsibility, but long enough to acknowledge how heavy it's been. Let yourself feel it. Let the tears come if they need to. Let the relief wash over you. Because this isn't weakness. It's integration. It's your body finally releasing all the tension it's been holding while you did the impossible. So you understand what's happening. You know why it matters. You know your position to receive. But what do you actually do on March 13th to maximize this energy? First, set the intention. Then let go. Write down what you want to receive. Be specific, but don't obsess over it. The Capricorn Moon rewards people who can trust the process, who can plant the seed and then get out of the way while it grows. Second, do something tangible. This is Earth energy. It wants action, not just meditation. Update your resume. Send that invoice. Make the phone call you've been avoiding. Take one concrete step toward the life you're building. Third, honor your boundaries fiercely. If someone tries to pull you back into old dynamics, into drama, into chaos, don't engage. Tomorrow is about receiving your reward, not getting sucked back into the patterns that kept you stuck. Fourth, pay attention to what shows up. The rewards might not arrive in the package you expected. Stay open, stay alert. The universe delivers in mysterious ways, and sometimes the biggest blessing looks like the smallest detail. And finally, trust that you've earned this. Don't minimize it. Don't deflect it. Don't convince yourself you don't deserve it. You do. You worked for it. You sacrificed for it. You held your integrity when it would have been easier to fold. Tomorrow, the universe acknowledges that. Let it in. The Capricorn Moon tomorrow isn't an ending. It's a beginning. It's the moment where the slow, grinding build-up of the past several months suddenly shifts into rapid, visible momentum. Because once Jupiter is direct, once the North Node gets activated by Mars, once the material foundation is in place, there's no stopping what comes next. The doors don't just open, they stay open. The opportunities don't just appear, they multiply. The momentum doesn't just return, it compounds. You're standing at a threshold right now. On one side is everything you've been building in the dark. On the other side is the life where that work finally pays off, where your value is recognized, where your sacrifices are honored, where you're not just surviving, you're thriving. Tomorrow, you cross that threshold, and there's no going back to who you were before, because the version of you on the other side, they know their worth, they trust their path, they don't settle, don't shrink, don't apologize for claiming what's theirs. The universe has been preparing you for this. Every challenge was training, every setback was redirection, every loss was making space. And tomorrow, you finally understand why. Because you're not just getting a reward tomorrow, you're stepping into a completely different life. One where your hard work is met with real results, where your integrity is matched with opportunity, where the cosmic ledger finally balances in your favor. But I need to tell you something that might surprise you. The biggest shift tomorrow isn't actually about what you receive. It's about who you become in the process of receiving it. Because here's what I've noticed about Capricorn energy. It doesn't just hand you success. It transforms you into someone who can sustain it. Think about the difference between someone who wins the lottery and someone who builds wealth over decades. The lottery winner often loses everything within years because they never developed the internal structure to hold that abundance. But the person who builds slowly, they have the discipline, the boundaries, the wisdom to not just receive wealth but to multiply it. That's what tomorrow is really about. The Capricorn Moon isn't just delivering rewards. It's confirming that you've become the kind of person who can handle them, that you've developed the emotional maturity, the strategic thinking, the unshakable foundation required to turn temporary wins into transformation. And I think that's why this moment feels so different from other times you've experienced success. This isn't beginner's luck. This isn't a fluke. This is mastery being recognized. This is the universe saying you've graduated to a new level. And here are the resources that match your new frequency. Let me tell you what I think happens in the days and weeks after tomorrow. Because the Capricorn Moon is just the catalyst. What follows is where the real magic unfolds. Within 48 hours of tomorrow, you're going to start noticing synchronicities that feel almost too perfect to be coincidental. The right person reaches out at exactly the right time. The information you needed suddenly appears. The opportunity you'd given up on resurfaces with better terms than before. This is because when you receive your karmic reward, you also receive access to a new energetic frequency. And that frequency attracts matching circumstances. It's like you've been upgraded to a new operating system, and suddenly you can run programs that weren't available to you before. By the end of March, I believe you'll look back at tomorrow as the turning point. The day everything changed. Not because one massive thing happened, but because 1,000 small things started aligning in your favor all once. The compound effect of all those alignments. That's what creates the life-changing breakthrough. And here's something really important I want you to understand. The rewards coming tomorrow aren't just for you. They're for everyone connected to you. When you rise, you lift others with you. When you receive abundance, you create space for others to receive it too. When you step into your power, you give permission for others to do the same. This is the ripple effect of karmic justice. It doesn't just balance your individual ledger. It rebalances entire networks of relationships, entire communities, entire lineages. The success you experience tomorrow might be the thing that breaks a generational curse in your family. It might be the example that inspires someone else to keep going. It might be the resource that allows you to finally help the people you've been wanting to support. So when you receive tomorrow's blessings, receive them not just for yourself, but for everyone who's been waiting for you to rise. Because your success is their permission slip. Your breakthrough is their proof that it's possible. Your reward is their hope that the universe really does keep track. Now I want to address something that might be coming up for you right now. Fear. Because as much as you want this, as much as you've worked for this, there's probably a part of you that's terrified of actually receiving it. Terrified of being seen. Terrified of the responsibility that comes with success. Terrified that if you finally get what you want, you might somehow lose it. That fear is normal. It's actually a sign that you're on the edge of real transformation. Because your nervous system is designed to keep you safe. And safety often means staying in the familiar, even if the familiar is painful. Stepping into a new level of success means leaving behind the identity you've been carrying. And that can feel like a death. But here's what I need you to know. That old identity, the one that struggled and sacrificed and went unrecognized, it served you. It got you here. But it's not designed to take you where you're going next. Tomorrow's Capricorn Moon is offering you a new identity, one that's successful, recognized, rewarded, and stable. And the only thing standing between you and that new identity is your willingness to let the old one go. So if fear comes up tomorrow, don't fight it. Don't try to push it away or pretend it's not there. Acknowledge it. Thank it for trying to keep you safe. And then make the choice to move forward anyway. Because courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision to act in alignment with your highest good despite the fear. And here's something that might help. The universe wouldn't be offering you this opportunity if you weren't ready for it. The fact that you're watching this video right now, the fact that you've made it through everything you've been through to get to this point, that's proof that you're prepared. You might not feel ready, but you are. I also want to talk about what happens if tomorrow doesn't look exactly how you expected. Because sometimes the universe delivers in ways that don't match our specific vision. Maybe you were expecting a promotion, but instead you get an unexpected freelance opportunity that pays better. Maybe you were hoping for recognition from one person, but it comes from someone completely different. Maybe the reward shows up in a form you didn't even know you wanted. Stay flexible. Stay open. Don't get so attached to how you think it should happen that you miss how it actually is happening. The Capricorn Moon is practical. It delivers what you need, not necessarily what you think you want. And often, what you need is far better than what you imagined. Trust the intelligence of the cosmos. Trust that if something shows up tomorrow, it's there for a reason. Even if you can't see the full picture yet. Even if it doesn't make logical sense. Your job is to receive it with gratitude, and then watch how it unfolds over the coming weeks. There's one more thing I need to tell you about tomorrow, and this might be the most important part. The Capricorn Moon doesn't just reward past effort. It also sets the foundation for future success. The choices you make tomorrow, the boundaries you set, the standards you establish, they become the blueprint for everything that comes after. So when you receive tomorrow's rewards, receive them with the understanding that you're not just celebrating past wins. You're establishing new baselines. You're declaring to the universe, this is my new normal. This is the level of respect, compensation, recognition, and success I now expect as standard. And the universe will match that declaration. It will reorganize your reality around that new baseline. But you have to claim it. You have to own it. You have to refuse to go back to accepting less than what you know you're worth. This is why tomorrow is so critical. It's not just about what you get. It's about what you decide you deserve going forward. It's about the new floor you establish for your life. And once that floor is set, everything builds from there. I want you to imagine something with me. Imagine waking up 6 months from now. It's September 2026. You're looking back at March 13th, and you're in awe of how much has changed. The career you have now, the financial stability you've built, the relationships that surround you, the confidence you carry, the peace you feel, and you realize that tomorrow was the day it all shifted. The day you stopped waiting for permission and started claiming what was yours. The day you stopped playing small and started owning your power. The day the universe finally, undeniably confirmed that your hard work matters. That future is available to you. It's not a fantasy. It's not wishful thinking. It's the natural result of everything you've been building combined with the cosmic support that's arriving tomorrow. All you have to do is show up, receive it, and refuse to shrink back into who you used to be. The universe has been watching you. Every late night, every sacrifice, every moment you chose integrity over ease, every time you kept going when it would have been easier to quit. It's all been recorded. And tomorrow, the cosmic accountant closes the books on that chapter and opens a new one. A chapter where your hard work is met with tangible results, where your value is recognized and compensated.